Last week, we saw Neil defy the odds, defeat the 100 and walk away with over £16,000. But tonight, will someone else beat the 100 and take home life-changing money? We're about to find out. Welcome to 1 versus 100.
It's Saturday night. It's the toughest quiz show on television. Welcome to the National Lottery 1 versus 100 arena with your host, Dermot O'Leary.
Good evening and welcome to 1 versus 100, the show where one contestant takes on 100 opponents, each of whom is worth £1,000. Keep answering questions correctly and they could win some serious cash. But we're not just throwing the money away. Get one question wrong and they are out. There will be no money whatsoever. And someone else from the 100 will take their place. So everyone here tonight wants to play, but who's going to be the first to take on the 100 tonight? Let's find out. Hello, sir. It is you. You are the one. Please enter the arena.
The one to take on the 100 is Darren Topping. Darren is a librarian from County Antrim in Northern Ireland. He claims he isn't a natural risk taker. To beat the 100 though, Darren, you'll have to be braver than that.
Darren, lovely to meet you.
Hi, Dermot.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Excellent. Darren, you're from County Antrim. You're a librarian.
Indeed, I am.
You describe yourself as a classic librarian by all accounts. You love the job.
I do. I absolutely love the job. And I don't think there's actually anything wrong with trying to live your life in alphabetical order. But I've sort of yet to master the art of silence to any degree, so...
OK.
Yes.
Music's your passion as well, I believe.
I love everything from sort of ABBA to ZZ Top, A to Z, the alphabetical thing.
I can see there's going to be a theme.
Yes, I think so.
Right, you are the one, they are the 100. Let me explain to you how it works. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. You are going to answer. The 100 are also going to answer, OK? Every time you get a question right, each member of the 100 who got it wrong is eliminated. They are out. And you get £1,000 per person. Sounds good, right? Your aim is to keep going until every single one of them is out. If you do that, you walk away with all the money you've made plus an extra £50,000 for beating the 100. But, and this is the important thing, get just one question wrong and you go home with absolutely nothing. The only thing that's going to help you, apart from your A to Z style brain, your skill and your nerve, is that you can dodge up to 3 questions if you don't know the answer, OK?
OK.
Now, viewers with digital satellite or Freeview can play along at home by pressing the red button. Ready to play?
Yes, indeed.
OK, let's play 1 versus 100. Darren, for each question, you have a pick of 2 categories. Let's have a look at the first 2 categories. Oh, you're a lucky boy. Music or events of 2006?
I'm sort of thinking at this stage, there might be one to trip me up.
Because classical music is your weakness, isn't it?
Very much so. And as long as it's nothing about post-1995,
I'll
tell you what, no, I'll go for music anyway. I'll go for music, yep.
We are going to go for music, please, for your first question. Let's have a look at the question. Jazz virtuoso Django Reinhardt was famed for playing which instrument? A, the guitar, B, the drums, or C, the trombone? Members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting to register your answer. Any thoughts?
I'm nearly certain I know the answer to this.
OK.
I have a vague recollection that Django Reinhardt had fingers missing on one of his hands, and despite that, he was still able to play the guitar like a genius. I might be wrong with that.
It's tricky, this, because it's your first question.
Yeah, it is.
So you can't dodge.
Exactly.
You
That's
have to
what
give me an
worries me.
answer.
Well, no, I'm going to have to go with my gut instinct and say he was a guitarist.
OK. Definitely?
Definitely.
We went with A guitar. Let's see if A guitar is the right answer. Well done. Yes. start for you. Let's see if it's a good start for your opponents. How many people out of the 100 got that answer wrong? I need to see red lights now. I can tell you, 56 people got that wrong. That's extraordinary. That's 56,000. And after your first question, just your first question, it's you versus 44. Well played. Darren, that is an amazing situation to be in. You're over halfway there after your first question. You're on course to win 150,000 as we stand. Let's take a look at the next two categories. They are words and language or history.
I've got a degree in history, but that was a long time ago, Dermot. Words and language, that could be anything. And again, sort of words and language are my stock and trade with being a librarian, so either way, I could end up with a lot of egg in my face.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with words and language.
OK. Are you thinking at the moment, strategy-wise, it's what you know or it's what they don't know?
No, I would rather go with what I know at the minute early on, just to see how many I can knock out. We'll wing it, and we'll see how we go.
Words and language?
Words and language,
Words
Dermot.
and language. Let's take a look at your question. Which of the following words is not used to mean both hello and goodbye? A, aloha, B, ciao, or C, hola? Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. Now you've got the money in the bank, you have two weapons at your disposal, OK? Firstly, if you're feeling confident, you can use your double, which means any money you receive from knocking out your opponents will be doubled. You can also use your dodges, OK? If you play one, you won't have to give me an answer, but your opponents will, OK? But the price of survival is this: if you lose half your winnings so far, you will, however, most importantly, stay in the game. So, how are you feeling about this?
Oh, it's one of those funny little questions.
If you were sitting up there, what would you have gone for?
If I was sitting up there, I'd have gone for hola, simply based on the fact that ciao, I know ciao means both hello and goodbye in Italian. Aloha, I'm not sure about, it's Hawaiian, but it sounds like one of those. It could be either hola's obviously Spanish, but adios means goodbye in Spanish. So that just seems like the most logical answer.
And you've got 56,000 in the bank, but you've got to knock out 44 people to get your hands on that.
I think there have been very few people knocked out in this question, which is why I don't want to play with double. No, I'm gonna go for C.
Okay, which of the following words is not used to mean both hello and goodbye? We've gone for C, Ola. Let's see if you're still in the game, and that is the correct answer. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay. Darren is still in the game. Let's see how many of his opponents got that question wrong. How many did you knock out there? Let's see. I can tell you, you thought it'd be a bit less than that, I think, didn't you? 13 got it wrong, which means we add 13,000 to your total. Your new total is £69,000. And of course, this is the important bit. It's now, only after 2 questions, you versus 31. Very well played, Darren. OK, let's take a look at the next 2 categories. Politics or geography?
Geography has always been one of my slightly stronger subjects.
But just as a librarian, I imagine both of those would probably suit you quite well.
Yes. And on this occasion, I'm going to plump for politics.
OK, going for politics. Let's have a look at the question, please. Which politician famously takes summer holidays in a caravan? A, Margaret Beckett, B, John Prescott, or C, Claire Short? Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. Any thoughts?
I don't reckon it's our esteemed Deputy Prime Minister. Margaret Beckett. Margaret Beckett is a very, very well turned out lady, and to my mind, I'm not saying that Claire Short isn't.
Yeah.
But Margaret Beckett does not strike me as a closet caravaner. Claire Short. Oh, Dermot, I don't know.
Well, think about this very carefully. You've got 69,000, right?
Yep.
You take a dodge, I'll have to slash that £69,000 in half. That's the price of survival, but that is a lot of money for me to halve. But you're still in the game.
Yes, and that's where I want to be. And to stay in the game, I think I'm going to have to take a dodge on this one, Dermot. Yep.
Okay. We've halved your price fund down to 34,500. What would you have gone for?
I would have had to have gone for Claire Short, I think.
Okay. To make this dodge worth your while, we need that to be the wrong answer. Let's see what the correct answer was.
Oh, yeah.
What fate.
Yeah.
That's worked out quite well for you. Let's see how many of your opponents were eliminated. I can tell you that 10 got it wrong, so even though your total after the dodge is £34,500, it's now you versus 21. Well done. And interestingly, absolutely no one out of your opponents went for John Prescott. OK, let's take a look at the next two categories. Now, it's you versus 21, so you've knocked out over 75 of your opponents, which means now you get a chance to earn a bonus dodge, which obviously can be vital in beating the remaining members of the 100. However, get it wrong, and you are out, and one of the remaining members will be up here taking your place, OK? It's a tough one, this, because books and authors...
It's just one of those horrible situations where if I go for books and authors and I get the question wrong, I'll be reminded about it till doomsday. And I cannot live with the shame.
Do you think you're going to need the bonus dodge, though?
Well, this is the thing. I've still got 2. There is only 21, but when it gets to the sharp end, and it maybe only gets to 3 or 4 people, 2 dodges could be enough to eliminate them entirely. I would say on this occasion I'm going to plump for the books and authors.
Books and authors it is. Let's take a look at the question. Which children's book has the subtitle There and Back Again? A, Artemis Fowl, B, The Hobbit, or C, Northern Lights? Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting.
This is a toughie. The answer, whenever the question first came up, the answer that flashed into my mind is not one of those 3. Oh, I actually, disgracefully, don't know the book Artemis Fowl. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who wrote it. The Hobbit sticks out mainly for the fact that it's such a huge, huge book.
Have you read The Hobbit?
I have read the first 6 pages of The Hobbit.
You're a librarian. What are you doing?
Reading proper literature.
Oh, he has a side to him, doesn't he?
Northern Lights, that's a fantasy book as well, I think. I keep getting drawn back to B, The Hobbit. I think I'm going to have to stick my neck out here. I'm going to play B, The Hobbit, and use my double.
OK. Which children's book has the subtitle There and Back Again? Darren has gone with B, The Hobbit, and he's elected to play his double. If he gets it wrong, the librarian is out with no money whatsoever. Let's see if The Hobbit is the right answer. Well done.
Yes! Yes!
OK. Let's see how many of your opponents you knocked out and how much money you've made there. 9 got it wrong. We now double the 9,000 to 18,000. Your new total is £52,500. Here's the important thing. It's now you versus 12. Well done. right, Darren. Let's take a look at the next two categories. Sport or people and places?
My obvious first reaction would be just sport. Sport every time, as long as it's football. If it's anything other than football, I could be in trouble, but I think I'm going to go for sport.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at the question. We've plumped for sport. Which footballer's nickname is the non-flying Dutchman? A. Dennis Bergkamp, B. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, or C. Ruud van Nistelrooy? Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. Tense situation now, right?
It really
you
is.
versus 12.
It is.
2 dodges left.
I don't think that Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was known as the non-flying Dutchman. Ruud van Nistelrooy was just rude. Bergkamp has been around for a while in England, was an absolute legend. He doesn't fly. Oh, the penny dropped. It's Dennis Bergkamp,
Okay.
100%.
All right, 52,500 here. If this epiphany is wrong, you're out now and you're walking away with nothing. You've gone for A, Dennis Bergkamp. Let's see if Dennis Bergkamp is the correct answer. Well done. Let's see how many of the remaining 12 got that answer wrong. I can tell you, 5 got it wrong. So we add £5,000 to your total. Your new total is £57,500. It's now you versus 7. Well played. Crucially, you have those 2 dodges still to play, all right? So even though your prize fund's at 57,500, even if I have to slash that, it's a great position for you to be in, because it means you'll still be in the game. Let's take a look at your next 2 categories, please. Hollywood greats or the animal world?
Oh, I feared this. These are 2 of my weaker subjects. I think I'll plump for animal world.
Fair enough. Let's see the question, please. The young of a turtle are known by what name? A, a hatchling, B, a pup, or C, a sprat? Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. The young of a turtle are known by what name? A, hatchling, B, pup, or C, sprat?
I would imagine because turtles hatch out of shells, hatchling sounds right. Pup, seal pup, sprat type of fish. But I really don't know enough about them.
Think hard about this, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
It's you versus 7. Even though you've got those 2 dodges, you don't know how many more questions are going to come.
Sure.
You know, we're down to the end game here. These guys obviously know their business.
Sure. You know, I'm always one for go with your gut reaction, and if I was sitting up there, I would have pressed A without hesitation. But I'm not. I think I'm going to have to play a dodge. Dermot?
Absolutely sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I'm going to have to play the dodge. I'm going to have to, unfortunately.
Okay. You would have gone for A, hatchling?
Yes.
So far, Darren has beaten 93 of his opponents. We've just had to half his prize fund. He now has £28,750 in the bank. However, if he eliminates the remaining 7 opponents, he could be taking home in excess of £85,000. Can he go all the way? We'll find out after we go live to National Lottery HQ for the first of tonight's lottery draws, which are Thunderball and Dream Number. We'll see you shortly. Jenny. Welcome back to 1 versus 100. This is Darren. When you left us, it was Darren versus 7 of his opponents. We asked him a question. The young of a turtle are known by what name? He had 2 dodges. He elected to play one, so I've slashed his prize fund down to £28,750. You've gone with the dodge here, Darren. You said hatchling. We need hatchling to be the incorrect answer for that dodge to have been worthwhile, OK? The young of a turtle are known by what name? Let's see what the correct answer is.
Oh, well.
OK. Not the end of the world, all right? Let's see how many of your remaining opponents got that question wrong and therefore are out of the game. I can tell you only one person got it wrong. So even though your total after the dodge is 28,750, it's now you versus 6. Well played. OK, let's take a look at the next 2 categories. Fictional characters or travel?
Travel has always been a subject that's fascinated me. And with one dodge left, I would now like to try to answer as many questions right as I can.
Your strategy is going all over the show.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to plump for travel. Dermot.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the question, please. The beach resort of Varadero is found on which Caribbean island? A, Antigua, B, Cuba, or C, Jamaica? The remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. How are you feeling about this?
Again, Varadero sounds slightly Hispanic, which would make me tend towards Cuba from the 3. But it's a heck of a lot of money to gamble on.
Well, it is. You versus 6.
Yeah.
1 dodge left.
Yeah.
Take that dodge out to half 28,750. On course to an 84,750 as it stands. Not if you play that dodge. Antigua, Cuba, Jamaica.
Doesn't sound Jamaican. Antigua. I'm trying to think if that's an English-speaking island or if that's Spanish. Antigua. Sounds it. So it could be Antigua. No, I'm not confident enough, Dermot, to take it on. I'm not.
You play a dodge now.
I know.
Into half that prize fund. 6 get it right. Exactly back where you started without your dodge to play.
I would love to play this, but I'm going to take a dodge and take my chances on outgunning the rest of the people.
OK?
I'm going to have to do that.
Sure?
I'm sure.
Taking the dodge on this. Darren, what would you have said?
I would have gone for Cuba.
Gone for B, Cuba. Let's see, even though you've dodged it, if Cuba was the right answer.
Oh, no.
OK. Cuba was the right answer. Now let's see how many of your remaining opponents got that question wrong and are out of the game. Only 1 got it wrong. Your total after the dodge is now £14,375, and it's now you versus 5. You versus 5, no dodges, no double, no help now whatsoever. How are you feeling?
Ironically enough, now that I have no more dodges, I feel a lot better because I have to get it right. Am I better than these 5 people? Who knows?
OK, let's have a chat with just a couple of them. Where's Alison? Hello, Alison. How have you found all the questions? Have you been taking guesses or...?
No, I've been flying by the seat of my pants tonight. I've been absolutely guessing away.
We have Connor as well. Connor, you were standing next to Darren outside, is that
I was, and I had no idea he was from County Antrim. I'm from Belfast, so we can't be too far apart.
OK, guys, thanks a lot. Best of luck. It's 1 versus 5. Let's take a look at the next 2 categories. Food and drink or pop music?
No-brainer.
Yeah, but you said if it's pop music and it's like last 10 years, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You've got no dodges to play, so it's almost like you're up there now.
Well, I know some pop music. and I know nothing about food and drink, so I'm definitely going to have to play to my strengths and go with pop music here.
Fair enough. Pop music is the category. Let's take a look at the question. What was the first song to top the UK singles chart purely based on download sales? A, Crazy by Niles Barkley, B, It's Chico Time by Chico, or C, No Tomorrow by Orson. Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. What are your thoughts?
Oh dear.
Okay.
I don't think it's Chico's. Brilliant effort. So I think I can rule that out of the equation. Crazy was such a huge hit. And it's one of those ones that came from absolute... Well, Orson came from nowhere as well, actually. I'm tending towards A, but because it was such a huge hit... Ah, well, que sera, sera. I'm going to go for A. Niles Barkley, Crazy.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We are going with A, Crazy Niles Barkley. Let's see if A is the correct answer and you're still in the game.
Yes! Man, oh man!
Oh, wow. This is putting years on me. Let's see how many of your remaining opponents got that question wrong. I can tell you only one got it wrong still. That's £1,000 we're adding to your potential prize fund. Your new total is $15,375. It's now you versus 4. Well played. Let's take a look at the next two categories, please. Cities or television? Now, early on, you did say geography was one of your favourites.
I love my television. Who doesn't? And having a 5-year-old daughter, I'm au fait with kids' television as well, so that wouldn't faze me. And if that came up, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go with television.
The remaining 4 are up on television. This could be tough, all right? Gonna go with television. Let's take a look at the question. Now played by James Dreyfus in My Hero, from which planet does Thermo Man come? A, Megatron, B, Ultron, or C, Vectron? Remaining members of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting. Any ideas?
My Hero is not one of the shows that I watch. I'm forced into a situation where I have to guess. Out of those 3, Megatron doesn't... That's a wee bit too neat. That's just too spacey. Vectron's very robotic, sort of, you know. Ultron, it's a bit round, a bit soft. Ultron. Oh, it literally is. Toss of a coin.
Come to a decision?
Thermo Man. Yeah, I'll go for. If I change my mind from my original decision, I would never forget myself and got it wrong. So I'll have to go with my first instinct, which was Ultron.
We are going with B, Ultron. Now played by James Dreyfus in My Hero, from which planet does Thermo Man come? Darren has gone for B, Ultron. So far, Darren has beaten 96 of his opponents and has £15,375 in the bank. However, if he eliminates the remaining 4, he could be taking home in excess of £65,000. Can he go all the way? We'll find out after we return from the National Lottery HQ for tonight's final draw, which is Lotto. See you soon. Thanks again, Jenny. Let's get back to business. Here is the situation. It's Darren versus 4. Darren has to knock out those 4 opponents by answering questions correctly if he wants to walk away with £69,000 tonight. He's used all his dodges. He can't dodge any more questions, so he has to get every single question now right and bank on the fact that his opponents are going to get it wrong. His last question before he went to the lottery was, now played by James Dreyfus in My Hero, from which planet does Thermo Man come? The options were A, Megatron, B, Ultron, or C, Vectron. He opted for B, Ultron. He has to get this right to stay in the game. Let's see if B, Ultron was the correct answer. Okay.
What a fluke!
Well, okay. You're still in the game. This is crucial. Let's see how many of the remaining 4 got it wrong and therefore are eliminated from the game. 3 got it wrong. So, your new total is £18,375. Most importantly, it's now you versus 1. The remaining member of the 100, Lynn. How you feeling?
I would rather the 4 had disappeared there, but it's a shootout now, so...
OK. Let's take a look at the next 2 categories. Films or fashion?
This is so evil. That is not on. Films could strike lucky. Fashion, no, nothing. But bizarrely, when I'm watching other quiz shows on telly, I always seem to get the fashion question right, and my wife thinks this is hilarious.
Your wife's not going to find it too funny
No,
if you
she
get the fashion question
certainly
wrong.
is not. But she would probably be saying now, you should have gone for fashion. You always get fashion questions right. Just like that.
Yeah.
But I can't, it's too big a risk. It's far too big a risk to take. I'm going to have to try to play to my relative strengths. I'm going to have to play films.
Sure about this?
Yes, 100%.
OK. We've gone for films. Just take a look at the question, please. Which actor played Rico Tubbs in the 2006 film remake of Miami Vice? A, Jamie Foxx, B, Martin Lawrence, or C, Will Smith? Remaining member of the 100, you have 6 seconds and counting.
I think I can remember seeing publicity stills from the film, and Will Smith, being a megastar, would have stood out, I suppose, with Jamie Foxx. Martin Lawrence, I don't really know a lot about Martin Lawrence. I know it was a big film. It wasn't a big film, a Will Smith type film. Jamie Foxx. Right.
No dodges left.
No, I think I'm going to go with B, Martin Lawrence. Yeah, I'm going to go with B, Martin Lawrence.
Get this wrong, you walk away with nothing. You've defeated 99 of your opponents. It's you versus 1. Get it right, and Lynn gets it wrong. You walk away with £69,375. Big decision. Are you definitely going for B?
Yes.
Which actor played Rico Tubbs in a 2006 film remake of Miami Vice? You've gone for B, Martin Lawrence. You get it wrong, Lynn gets it right. She's down here taking your place, and you're walking away with absolutely nothing. Okay, Darren? Let's see if B, Martin Lawrence, is the right answer. So sorry.
Oh, well.
I'm absolutely gutted you have to go, but we're going to have to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much. OK, so Darren's gone, but has Lynn, the remaining member of the 100, got it right? Let's find out. Yes, she has. We are out of time now, but next week we'll see Lynn take on the 100. Don't forget you can experience being the one. You can check out the 1 versus 100 web game, bbc.co.uk/1 versus 100. Thank you very much. See you next week.